Welcome to a slice of my Wacky Writer Life, where I chronicle my journey through the self-publishing space. I'm Nana Kay, your not-so-niche indie author, and the creator of the Resonant Voice Collection, which is a growing self-published collection of my literary works, media, and art that seek to explore all aspects of the human experience and bring hard conversations to the surface of the social consciousness. If this sounds like something that strikes a chord in you, consider following my content for more. It's definitely been a while since I did one of these videos. It's been an exciting couple of years since officially launching my collection, and in that time I've had the chance to stretch myself creatively in many ways, with not only my writing, but also with my voice. Through that process, I've undergone different stages of metamorphosis with my brand, and I'm sure that will continue as the Resonant Voice collection grows. However, I did want to talk about one particular piece of personal branding that I landed on these past couple of years that I hope will continue to define my collection for years to come. That can be boiled down to the question of why is it that I've come to refer to myself as a not-so-niche indie author across all of my social media accounts. Well, the short and simple answer to that is because I want to intentionally create room for myself to evolve as a writer and a creator while I'm still in the early years of my collection. However, let's get into the how and the why. I've observed how content has evolved and led to the rise of online curated niche spaces as both a creative utilizing the social media space to promote her work and as an audience member consuming content. I remember the early days of social media where people seemed freer to create and share the things they enjoyed without dwelling over how to appease algorithms or appeal to reactionary trends. In those times, we witnessed many unique forms of creativity emerge. Creativity couldn't be so readily defined or put into a box. I believe that at its core, art is meant to reflect the diverse range of the human experience, and that means that it has the potential to be more than just one thing. However, as the content landscape has gradually become more monopolized, creativity has become channeled into specific, curated spaces. As both a creative and an indie author, I not only look at my work from an artistic lens, but also from a business lens. I'm well aware of what needs to go into marketing myself and my work in ways that not only allow me to showcase my collection, but also connect with my audience. That being said, I know how enticing it is to build an audience within a particular niche, and for a time, I was considering or wondering if that's what I should do. Through the process, I realized that though the first publication of my collection was a poetry book, I didn't want to write just poetry. I also wanted to write stories, essays, and even songs. And I wasn't waiting for anyone's permission to do it, let alone the social approval of a bunch of ones and zeros. As I continued writing, I wanted to continue building my voice by incorporating other artistic mediums of expression, like for instance using my satire and critique series to further explore the sassier side of my creative voice, and using my Wacky Writer Life series to explore my storytelling voice. I don't want to create multiple profiles that speak to these different sides of my work. I write about the complexities of the human experience because I believe that part of the beauty in being human comes from the mosaic of different experiences we live through. I felt that keeping all of the ways that I wanted to stretch my voice under one unifying brand was me keeping true to the core messages of my work. So the question became, how could I tie this all together and still protect the space for me to express different aspects of myself as a creative? And that's when the not-so-niche branding was born. While the focus is put heavily on market trends to drive branding, and they are things to keep in mind, no doubt, I've come to learn that as a creative, charting a path with her brand means assessing what provides me the most leverage to evolve within it. It's true that brands are not static. They can change and be relaunched over time. However, it's also true that your audience builds an attachment or relationship with the version of you and your brand that you put out in front of them. Setting up the expectations from the jump of what your audience can expect to see from you will influence the choices you decide to make for your work. I don't want to be limited with the type of work I produce. So the expectation I'm setting from the jump is be prepared to see many different works from me as you join me along on this wacky ride. And that may mean keeping you on your toes. But anyway, that's just a bit behind the rationale. For those of you who stuck around this long into the video, thank you. I appreciate the support and hope this episode of my Wacky Writer Life resonated with you. And for all of the creatives out there building their brand, I'm curious, what has been your process for carving out your space to balance self-expression and self-promotion?